This will come on in a moment. Can you please welcome back Vincent Chow and Simon Yao?
Hello.
We've also got Fei Fei, who's going to translate. Should we need
Thank you. 大家好似食完碗糖水咁。
So it seems like you've all had your dessert.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on the film. I should say that we're very proud that this is the world premiere of this film. But not only that, this is the first time that you've watched this film, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was first watch this film.
即係話今日唔單止係呢個電影第一次首映啦，都係你哋第一次睇呢個電影。
冇錯，今次係this is the first time for me to watch this movie. I feel very sweet. I'm so fit because of all you guys in here, all your ladies in here, because I get rid of all the sugar because I need to keep fit. Too much sugar made me fat, so I can make a good characters. But this is good. At least my heart feeling when I first in this kind of never seen before. I feel so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's start off with the genesis of the film, how it all began. Vincent, perhaps you can talk about what it was about this screenplay that made you want to direct it.
即係點開始做呢個項目嘅？啱開始寫劇本係點樣開始
Let me put in Cantonese. Okay. 我諗呢個 project 係 我諗呢個 project 我諗大概係5-6年前係啦，咁就真人真事我見到一個 interview， 咁就係關於一個夢想好想做空姐，跟住要翻去，因為佢爸爸年紀老邁，跟住就要翻去餐廳度幫手，跟住佢又唔識開始，就去到最尾就呢間餐廳就成為一個好出名嘅餐廳，咁呢個故事就由呢個種子咁樣開始咯。
Yeah, this project actually started about 5-6 years ago. I read a real story and I saw this interview in which there was this girl who wanted to be an air hostess, but then because her father was getting old, so she had to return to the family-run restaurants to take over the business, and she also experienced a phase where she didn't know anything. But then gradually the restaurant rebuilt its fame and became a famous restaurant.
And
true story.
And how did because this is your first film, feature film as a director. What was it like approaching this project as a first-time director?
即係第一次做呢個故事片嘅導演係咩體驗？
好開心啦，因為我會擁有一班咁好嘅演員啦。即係你冇諗過第一次執導電影會有Simon 啦、Stephy 啦，咁會參與我嘅電影，所以覺得好夢幻件事。
So I'm very happy to have this first-time experience because I get to work with all of these great actors. It's indeed very lucky for me to have Simon and Steffi and all the great actors in my first debut film.
Simon, let's talk about when you became involved in the project and what was it that initially sparked your interest?
大 大家都知道 as everybody know that I love beans. I love it. So when the director told me that, okay, the script is talking about the family, it's talking about the dessert, it's talking about the bean, so that I raise up my hand. It's okay because it's like my blood is full of bean. That's why I raised my hand. Okay, I want to get involved with this film.
There's something also about your character that in a way is not dissimilar to what we start to find out this soup is like. That initially we think you're one thing, that you're one kind of personality, and realise then that there are many different layers, and you become more complex as the film goes on. Could you talk about the conversations that you both had together of developing, perhaps you first, of developing this character?
頭先個問題係關於呢個角色嘅，即係呢個角色喺呢個電影嘅故事進展過程裏邊越變越複雜啦，所以想問下你哋之間係有咩討論去develop 呢個角色嘅
？Actually, I got a lot of friends. Actually, this is from 係一個地方 ，the area is called 潮州。This area 好大男人主義嘅，咁通常咧就係講中晒咧，即係佢哋咧一定要仔嘅，佢哋咧嗰啲女咧佢哋唔理嘅，咁所以咧其實個戲入邊，因為我哋香港係一個移民嘅即係移民嘅地方啦，我哋好多朋友喺潮州過嚟啊、東莞過嚟啊、順德過嚟，咁我亦都好多朋友係潮州嘅。咁我由佢哋得到嘅信息咧，咁我一路都 develop 喺個戲入邊咧，點樣將一啲潮州嘅味道融入咗喺個邊入邊，融入咗個家庭入邊。咁潮州人個最大嘅特點咧，就係佢哋好孝順，佢哋中意仔。如果生咗女咧唔得，佢永遠都要生10個，佢都要生個仔。咁同埋潮州人咧係好一樣嘢咧，就係、喺個社區入邊咧，佢好大家會幫助大家嘅。呢個係九龍城寨，即係九龍城入邊嘅一個小小嘅故仔。咁我哋有部電影叫《九龍城寨》好成功，係一個好大嘅一個故仔，有打有 action 啊，拖幫。咁呢條街咧，其實就喺九龍城寨隔離嗰條街。咁呢個係一個好小嘅故事，用一個甜品一粒豆，令到人與人之間同埋一個家庭點樣維係，同埋周邊嘅互相幫忙嘅一個咁嘅電影。咁所以咧，導演我同導演一路傾嘅時候咧，因為其實我好熟九龍城，咁所以咧就亦都好熟汕頭啊、潮州嗰啲朋友，咁同導演一路都喺度傾偈嘅時候咧，就話俾佢聽個 background 係點樣人與人之間，我哋可以通過一粒豆，令到全世界可以拉埋一齊，即 connect together。有啲長啊 ，I'm so sorry.
Just a bit of background about the place Qiuzhou, which is the place mentioned in the film. As we all know, men from that area are quite chauvinistic, and they prefer sons. They don't like daughters. If they have daughters, they don't really. They're not happy about that. They always want sons. And as we all know, again, Hong Kong is a city of immigrants, and also have a lot of friends who are from that area. Some of them from Dongguan, Qiuzhou, and Shunde, all of these places. So I got a lot of information about their upbringing and about the area of Qiuzhou. So as the plot develops, I try to include the flavor of Qiuzhou into the story, and try to deliver how this small bean can connect the family and the community. And we all know that Qiuzhou's culture emphasizes filial piety. So, and they love sons. They're not happy with having daughters. Even if you keep having daughters, you have 10 daughters, they will still try to have one son. In the end, they're always aspiring to have a son. But still, again, in this Qiuzhou culture, we see a strong sense of community. We see how people are always willing to help each other. And I would like to mention this other film, 九龍城寨, which is a film about Kowloon, and it's an action film. There is a street which is featured a lot in this film, and the street is next to the main street in Little Red Sweet. So Coming back to the story itself, Little Red Sweet is actually a story starting from a very small angle, but it's actually very meaningful to show how the red bean connects people, connects different relationships, and connects our family. And I know Kowloon well, and I also know the Jiuzhou culture very well. So through all of this information and through all of these conversations with the director, I got to know more about the backgrounds of this place, this culture. So I also think it's the symbolic bean delivers something very universal that we can that is very relatable to all of us.
And then one more thing，潮州人嘅個父母咧，叫個爸爸咧，佢愛你，但佢唔會講出嚟。
And also, it's very important to note that the dad in a Chiuzhou family, they love you, but they will never say it.
Incredible, she's good. Wow.
哇！你好似演員嚟嘅喎。
Thank you.
哇！大家想食紅豆沙咧，英國有得食，英國倫敦有得食。
If you want, can you guys get a red bean dessert in London?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
鄧先生嗰啲中國城。Wow! You have a red bean sweet.
Make that dessert in Chinatown.
Yeah, right. I hope you're getting commission for this.
No, because I love beans. No, anyway.
Vincent, it's just something that Simon said about location, because we've got that fantastic opening aerial shot, and it's kind of a strange aside, but it's something I love in films, and I think that this takes me back to the 1970s and watching Jaws for the first time, and my favourite moment in Jaws is none of the horror. It's not the shark attack. It's the moment the 4th of July arrives and people arrive on a ferry onto Amity Island. And within the film, we have this tiny little 5-minute documentary of people arriving and the joy of feeling summer. And we have this same 5-minute documentary in this film where we see life on the street. And I thought it's so fascinating that we have an opening shot that's an aerial shot that we all recognise of Hong Kong. But then we see beneath the surface, beneath the veneer. And it struck me that this world is as much of a character in this film as the family. Could you talk about your sort of the vision of this world that you had and why you wanted to sort of explore this?
其實嗰個第一個 shot 係一個CG shot 嚟嘅，咁成個 CG shot 就係講緊，因為 opening 講緊係一個80年代嘅 background。OK， 咁嗰個 background 你見到其實遠處有個啟德機場嘅，咁變咗其實1998年之後，啟德機場就搬咗去第二個地方啦。咁以前啟德機場咧就係一個九龍城上邊降落同起飛嘅，所以人民會喺九龍城嗰度咧，就會時時見到啲飛機起飛同降落咧，就好似頭頂度飛過咁樣嘅，係啦。咁我就想講翻呢樣嘢，一個香港好獨特嘅環境同情懷，咁想 recall 翻展現翻俾香港人知道啦。可能新一代可能00後之後嘅人都未必感受到或者知道有個咁嘅地方咁樣嘅。
So the first shot of the movie is actually a CG produced scene, and it showcases the background back to the 1980s when there's so from far away you can see that there's an airport. So that airport was like moved to somewhere else after 1998, but it was like a regular thing for the residents in Kowloon to see the plane from the airport landing and and departing. So I wanted to, and at that time, people living in Kowloon can always see the planes, like they always fly, over above their head. So it's like it feels really close to them. And I think I want to showcase the unique environment and vibe of Hong Kong, because a lot of young Hong Kongers don't really know this kind of thing. For example, for like people from the millennials, probably they don't really know anything like that.
So part of this thing of seeing this older world is, and a theme that runs through the whole of the film, is about the idea of change that's forced on us, change that we make, and then the contrast or the conflict between tradition and modernity. Could you both talk about the conversations that you had about this?
呢個電影裏邊係有一個呢個主題係關於改變嘅，所以都有好多對比係關於呢個傳統同埋現代之間嘅呢個衝突啦。所以喺呢方面有冇啲感想心得？
香港係一個現代城市啦。咁一個咁現代嘅城市，其實居然我哋會有個九龍城係一個好舊嘅城市。咁呢個城市入邊咧，其實就係充滿人情味，即係 which is 其他地方可能冇咁有感情，因為嗰度啲人其實會好 helpful、好 supportive， 係啦。咁同埋一個佢入邊會住咗好多唔同民族嘅人啦，即係有泰國人啊、潮州人啊、香港人啊，咁佢哋都係好互相幫助，係啦。咁就想講翻一個 contrast 就係、居然香港會有個咁嘅小區舊小區，係啦咁樣咯。
So we all know Hong Kong as a modern city, but in this modern city there is still this old bit called Kowloon, in which all of these intimate relationship between people happen, and you see their emotional connections. People always help each other and support each other. So I actually really want to demonstrate how people from different nationalities and ethnicities live under the same roof in this same community. There are people from Hong Kong, people from Thailand, and people from Chiuzhou. They all help each other. So I think I want to use like this angle to showcase the contrast between the modernity and tradition in Hong Kong.
我想補充下，因為紅豆咧係喺中藥入邊咧係一個好有養分嘅一種藥材，咁我亦都希望咧通過一個紅豆沙時代嘅變遷，但係紅豆嘅養分、紅豆嘅甜永遠都係香港，同埋亦都希望大家世界各地嘅朋友嚟到香港嘗試嗰碗好甜好 sweet 嘅紅豆沙。
I would like to add that red bean is also an important Chinese medicine. It's nutritious, and the dessert made of the red bean is very sweet. So even though time passes by, Hong Kong is still as nutritious and as sweet as before. I really hope that people from all over the world can come to Hong Kong and experience the sweetness of the city.
咁紅豆沙或者係代表一種好嘅，即係好甜好 sweet。即係等於喺 UK 你食 fish and chips， 無論係點樣 Regent Street 點樣變，都係會食 fish and chips。
I would like to compare the red bean dessert with fish and chips in the UK. No matter how your environment in the UK changes, no matter how Regent Street looked different from before, you will still want to eat fish and chips.
I guess we should also have some full disclosure here. Simon has just bought 20% of the world's largest red bean exporter, so he is going to be making a very large profit from.
No, I want to bring all the sweet things in Hong Kong. Welcome all around the world. Please visit Hong Kong and have a Hong Dao Sa, so sweet.
Let's open the floor to some questions. Hand goes straight up at the back.
你好。
哎呀，
好啊 ，thank you。
係啊，首先咧非常多謝你拍咁多套戲，你嘅戲係我香港記憶嘅好重要嘅好重要一部分。多謝。你咁多套戲裏面，你邊一套戲係你 記憶或者印象最深嘅咧？即係你成日不停咁翻睇你邊一套係你如果有嘅話，仲有就係你覺得邊一套你演過嘅戲係我哋應該最應該你希望印象最深嘅，你希望We Hong Kong Movies Lover 對邊一個角色最深？其實我哋中意係你演黑社會大佬。
Yeah, so the question is for Mr. Yam. Thank you so much for making this film and for bringing us this precious Hong Kong memory back to us. So I would like to ask for all of the films that you've worked with, which is the one that gives you the deepest memory and which is the one that you hope all of the Hong Kong movie fans would get to know about?
咁多部電影其實對於我嚟講都好緊要嘅。咁但係我自己其中一部咧係我好深刻嘅印象，係因為嗰部戲咧係我永遠都記得我細個仔爸爸點樣維係個家庭。嗰部戲咧叫做The Echo of Rainbow 歲月神偷。
Sorry, just to add that that gentleman also said his favorite ones were the ones where Mr. Yan played a gangster lead. And Mr. Yan's answer to the question is that there's this film, Echo of the Rainbow. I would like to introduce to all of you because it's also very nostalgic for me. It reminds me of how my dad was like with me when I was young.
Take another question.
Thank you. 唔該晒，多謝晒。
Okay, we'll come back to the audience in a moment. This film has nostalgia in it, but it isn't a nostalgic film.
唔係懷舊，但係因為其實我成個古仔都係講緊一個九龍城呢個情懷。咁其實無論電影即係個 language， 其實你用音樂、美術所有嘢都可以講古仔噶嘛。咁變咗顏色其實都係一個講古仔嘅方式，咁就用咗一個可能偏懷舊去講呢個情懷咯。咁可能如果比較太過 extreme、比較 modern 嘅顏色就唔係太啱呢套戲。
Yes, it is a nostalgic story, and it is a nostalgic story about Kowloon. We have many different ways to portray this kind of nostalgia. You can do it by music, you can do it by artistic presentation, and a very important aspect is to showcase nostalgic element through colors. So that's how we do it. If you use some kind of very bright modern color, it doesn't suit the film.
Could you talk a little bit about the music as well, because there are elements, it edges towards jazz, and sometimes it's a very simple theme playing, and it's quite beautiful.
係呢個係好大功勞係我哋其中一位隊員張叔平先生咁一個香港好出名嘅美術指導啦，同埋都係呢套戲嘅 editor。咁個音樂上面其實都係佢俾咗好多 suggestion 係啦。咁我哋大家討論嗰陣，其實都想音樂上邊唔好太過似翻以往嘅港產片，係啦，想俾一啲新鮮感俾啲觀眾，係啦。咁即係翻嚟 come out 咗就呢個咁嘅方向。
Actually, the selection of music, I would like to attribute this good selection of music to Mr. Zheng Xiaoping, who's very established art advisor and editor in film industry in Hong Kong. He gave us a lot of suggestions on how to choose the music. We want to make it different from like the commonly known Hong Kong films. So we like to give it a different finish. That's how we develop the music in this film.
我補充下，因為我都係第一次睇呢個戲，咁我覺得 music 做得好好，佢係真係好似做到咧係好自然，同埋好似做到咧係粒紅豆嗰個味係慢慢令到你最拉尾係會中意紅豆嗰種味，咁所以成個戲咧我哋唔會有啲嘣心跳啊，其他或者啲節奏比較 好電影嘅一種咁嘅配樂。咁今次個配樂咧，對於我嚟講，我自己好中意，同埋我會感受到睇電影嘅時候，感受到紅豆嘅魅力，感受到人與人之間嘅魅力，唔係夾硬用音響去令你感受嗰樣嘢。所以咧，其實電影就好似紅豆一樣，即係我覺得我好喜歡音樂，因為佢可以慢慢令你感受個角色，感受嗰個甜，感受嗰個變遷，感受咗個家庭嘅維繫。
I would also like to add, I really like the color in this film, and because it's very natural, it looks very natural. It really leads us towards the journey of how the symbol of red bean infiltrates in our life and infiltrates into our love towards the city. And also for the music, we didn't use that kind of strong rhythmic melody or anything with a strong bang. Because we want to use something soft and gentle to develop how this symbol of red bean connects people and the charming side of the emotional connection between people. We don't want to use anything too artificial. So yeah, I really enjoy the music in this film. It's paced, it has a slow pace, but it really gets us to feel the sweetness and the change of the city.
Do we have another question? Yes, at the back.
首先咧，我係多謝阿山人咧，係將呢個角色咧演到淋漓盡致。因為咧，同埋我哋稍微上咗年紀嘅咧，我覺得係已經有種共鳴喺度啊。因為我哋細個嗰時候咧，嗰啲即係爸爸啦，通常係爸爸都係咁樣嘅。佢如果唔鬧你唔打你咧，已經係對你好㗎啦。咁啊，其實我自己本身咧，亦係住喺好近九龍城啊，住喺近喪皇台嗰度嘅。咁所以嗰時我哋細個嗰時咧，亦同啲人分享下啲後生嗰啲，我哋睇電視咧係聽一啲唔聽唔到啲嘅，因為個飛機一落咧，你就聽唔到嘅。咁同埋咧係真係嗰段時間喺度住嘅時候咧，係所有啲所謂街坊咧，個個係非常之大家互相幫助嘅，所以我覺得咧係即係九龍城咧係一個好特別嘅地方。咁我就以前係成個九龍城。
I would like to say thank you to Simon for acting so well, for portraying this character so well, because as someone like I'm not young, and as someone who's not young, I can really echo with the character. It reminds me of how my father was when I was young. If they don't like beat you up or if they don't scold you, that means they're already being quite nice. And I also had this memory of living near the Kowloon neighborhood. When we were watching TV, sometimes you lose the sound or you lose the images because the planes would interrupt with the broadcasting. So and also it also brings me back to the memory of how the neighbors in Kowloon help each other. So I would really want to say thank you.
Does it actually take five hours to cook the red bean soup?
I just think it's one of the signs of a good food film that no matter how much you've eaten, when you come in at the start of a film, your stomach starts to rumble as you're watching the food appear on the screen. That said and done, I will never eat spam. No, it's wrong. It's just wrong. Any other questions? I want to stay with your character because I think something that's very interesting about this film, I mentioned earlier about change and about contrast between the modern and the traditional. And so many times when we're looking at the idea of change and transformation, it tends to be something that's left with the young. And what I like about this film is that you have this message that you're never too old to change. That no matter who you are, no matter what your age, you can adapt, you can change, you can find something new.
呢個係我哋係想多傾傾關於呢個角色咯，就好似之前講嘅呢個角色係關於變化、關於改變同埋關於傳統同埋現代嘅對比嘅，所以我好中意呢個電影嘅一點咧，就係呢個角色佢其實向我哋説明咗改變唔係一定係年輕人嘅事情，無論你係幾多歲，無論你係邊個，你永遠都可以適應去改變。即係想問下你哋對於呢一個角色呢個方面有咩睇法？
其實人生即係我喺個戲入邊，或者我覺得人生就應該不斷去學習，不斷去同世界接軌。喺個家庭入邊，所以呢個戲入邊我最撈尾妥協嘅就係我要賣咗個鋪，即係一個咁固執就咁 stubborn 嘅人，一個咁大男人嘅人，竟然最撈尾佢改變咗自己，為咗個女。佢賣咗個鋪，咁所以呢個其實係好複雜嘅，即係對於佢本身就違反咗一啲傳統嘅嘢，佢竟然會賣咗間鋪，咁但係我覺得呢個複雜係好似我哋人生一樣，我哋永遠都係向前行，我哋永遠有時好簡單 AI 呢個世界我哋改變唔到，但係我哋要喺最困難嘅時候慢慢點樣去迎合呢個 AI， 用 AI 去令到自己個糖水鋪更加發揚光大，我覺得呢個先係人生，我哋應該係不斷去學習，不斷去適應呢個世界。咁所以戲入邊呢個主人翁一樣，佢最後尾佢放棄，但係放棄完之後，為咗個女，佢放棄咗自己嘅堅持，但係最後尾個女又幫翻佢。咁我覺得呢個就係紅豆嘅魅力，因為人與人之間，父同女、仔同女都應該有個咁嘅聯繫喺度，咁呢個先係一個完美嘅家庭，或者喺生活世界上邊去到任何地方都係完美，所以我哋都係注重家庭嘅一個人。Thank you.
I think in our life journey, we should always be learning. We should always try to connect with the bigger world. So you can see at the end of the film, the father made a compromise for the family. He decided to sell the dessert shop. So even though he's so stubborn and he's so chauvinistic, he would like to change for his daughter, for his family. And so he went against the tradition. And because our life needs to move forward, it's similar to what we're dealing with now. We are entering this world of AI. We can't fight against AI. We need to, for example, think about how we can use AI to make a better dessert shop. And we always need to learn and adapt to new things. So at the end of the film, he gave up on the old shop, but you can also see how the daughter, in turn, made the whole shop a better place. So it's through this movement, through the red bean, that we can see the beautiful connection between the father and the daughter and between all the family members. I think this is how we achieve perfection in our life.
I hope you don't mind saying this, but talking about the idea of change and doing new things. Whilst we were at lunch, I found out that during lockdown, Simon had taken up painting, and he showed me quite a number of his paintings on his phone, and they're actually quite remarkable. Very, very beautiful. Some of you might have a chance later if he's willing to show you some of them. We hope you actually have an exhibition here in London at some point in time.
Yes. Thank you. 我係喺早幾年就因為有時要隔離14日，咁我咧就喺嗰度學畫畫。咁我真係要多謝我個女Ella， 就因為佢教識我用 Procreate 去畫畫。咁所以咧喺嗰幾年咧，即係喺呢3年咧，我就用咗 Procreate， 又加咗一啲喺即係電腦上邊嘅嘢，又加啲自己嘅一啲因為我由細到大都好中意畫嘅，咁我有好多畫咗好多花園，畫咗好多花，咁所以咧，其實我去世界咁多個地方咧，其實花對我嚟講好緊要，咁所以我不斷咁去學習，所以其實無論任何一個情況，任何一樣嘢，就好似我哋派做演員咁，不斷要去學習， 不斷去尋求一啲，去創造一啲新嘅角色，去創造一啲新嘅畫，或者創造啲新嘅攝影，咁令到呢個世界好似今日咁紅色，大家坐埋一齊，呢個紅色就係 passion。咁所以咧，呢個熱情就令到我繼續畫畫，繼續學多啲嘢，咁繼續令到我可以喺你哋臉上邊，俾我揾到好多唔同嘅故仔。喺你上邊，喺嗰位先生上邊，我揾到九龍城嘅人以前好大聲講嘢嘅，就因為飛機過大家都聽唔到。而家喺九龍城嘅人咧，聲音細啲啦，因為98年就搬咗去大嶼山，呢個就係我嘅觀察能力，希望可以從而咧可以喺每個戲入邊咧有啲唔同嘅演繹嘅方式，唔同嘅心態去做好自己做演員嘅本分。Sorry，
Yes, so for the painting bit, like for the past few years, I always have to do long quarantines, like where I have to do regular 14-day quarantines. So it was in this process that I started to develop the hobby of painting. And I would also like to say thank you to my daughter Ella for teaching me how to use Procreate to draw a lot of things. So in the past few years, I've drawn a lot using Procreate, and also I love flowers. That's why I drew a lot of flowers and I drew a lot of gardens. I've been to many places and flower has always been a very important aspect of my life. I think this is similar to being an actor. You're always pursuing something new. You're always pursuing to portray a new character. You're always trying to paint something different, to also like adding a different color through different artistic channels, no matter it's acting or drawing or photography. And now we are all in this room of redness. It's so red, it's a symbol of passion. I think it really demonstrates how I feel. Like I can see stories from all of your faces. I can see the story from the gentleman who just asked a question, and because it also reminds me that people from Kowloon used to speak very loudly, because when the plane departed or descended, we couldn't hear each other's voice. Now they lower their voice a bit more because since 1998 the airport moved to Daiyusan. So this is the change in life, and I want to portray this kind of life changes in different films, and that's how I see my career.
I have this romantic image going forward. We were talking about the gardens that you like visiting in London to see the flowers. I have this romantic image of a couple walking through the rose garden at Regent's Park, one nudging the other and saying, Isn't that Simon Yam over there, looking at the flowers?
有一個浪漫幻想係話 Simon 喺度睇英國呢邊嘅花園嘅時候，可能會有一對夫婦見到話，誒嗰個係咪阿 Simon 啊喺嗰度畫花嘅？
會嘅，我而家就期待緊過幾日 Regent Street、Oxford Street 所有嗰啲 online 着。
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going to Regent's Park and all the different parks to maybe do a drawing.
Yeah, this is a flower right in the middle of the city.
I know we've got Hong Kong night to celebrate outside, so we'll bring this to an end in a moment, but just some final thank yous. First of all, thank you to the cinema and the staff for their support over the course of the last 12 days. It's been really wonderful. Thank you to Director Jian, to Katie, and all of the team at Leaff for all their help. Supporters such as Guildford Law here, thank you so much for ensuring that this festival can continue. Fei Fei, thank you very much for your excellent translation. But most of all,
多謝晒你 ，thank you 晒，多謝晒所有嘅朋友。
Join us in thanking our guests this evening, Vincent Chow and Simon Yam.
Thank you，多謝晒，多謝。
Oh,
How's the film?
you don't ask an audience who's just seen your film what they think of it.
Very good. I really enjoyed it. kept my eyes open throughout the movie 真係你第一次做導演咧，真係非常之好。我從來好耐冇睇過咁好睇套戲。阿華哥又拍得好，阿 Stephy 又拍得好，你導演得非常之有個 pace 好舒服咁睇到好舒服。
多謝晒，多謝晒，thank you so much。
Although I will say, I think the line "I kept my eyes open" for the whole of the movie is not going to be appearing on the poster anytime soon. Please all join us outside for some drinks and to chat with our guests. Thank you.
Thank you，thank you。